Hello everyone, welcome back again. This is Aluminum Tarot. I'm going to be doing your reading today. It's going to be the Kintsugi Sessions. I'm trying out a reading with my Google Pixel Buds Pros in just to see if the voice is going to be a bit better without me creaking the chair every 20 seconds. But yeah, I'm going to try the Kintsugi Sessions, see what we can find for whoever needs to hear this message, and it's based on healing, loss, pain, things of that nature, and learning how to let your inner light shine in a time of darkness. So as I shuffle the cards, I just want to say, if you like what you see here on this channel, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, ding the notification bell so that you don't miss any updates from future postings. And additionally, if you would like a personal reading, feel free to reach out to me at the information provided in the description box below at the Blink link, which is it's got all my personal information on there, link to this particular YouTube channel, and rates and everything that you would need to include for your personal reading. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and do two things. We're going to add an oracle message from the Steampunk Tarot. I really like this deck. I'm starting to get used to some of the decks that I haven't been using after a while, and let's see what the tarot has to say for us today. So, Kintsugi message for anyone who needs to hear it. Kintsugi message for whoever wants to hear it, whoever needs to hear it. All signs, Kintsugi message for whoever needs it. Kintsugi message for whoever needs the message. So we have entered the new moon in Gemini as I'm shuffling the cards. That's going to give us the ability to kind of communicate both to ourselves and to other people involved. It's going to give us a chance also to, allow our ability to connect with the external environments around us. So that's basically lover's energy, the connection between two disparate souls, and the opportunity to connect with people on a deep level. Kintsugi message for June 2024. We have two oracle cards. Let's see what those say. First of all, we have number 33 and we have number 30. I'm going to quickly read what that is about because I'm getting used to this deck. So the first one is lilies. It's a neutral or positive, and so it talks about things that are at a longer length of time, age, experience, and passivity and peacefulness. So that's number 30 here, the lilies. Number 33 is the key, which is a very positive one. It talks about revelation, something opening up, discovery, understanding, solution. What was locked is now open. So when I combine the two of these together, what I see here is that it's taken you a little bit of time to actually, unlock the truths linked to a specific situation in your life, which have allowed you to kind of blossom. Because when I see lilies, I think about blossoming. Flowers open up in order to receive the sun, and that sun sustains them. So what you're probably doing is getting on the mend about something that you had to go through, something that was a bit painful. And despite that difficult turmoil, what you have learned is that, number one, this has opened up a lot of illumination and understanding for you. You may have learned more about yourself, what you would appreciate, what you respect, what you would not respect, what you would tolerate, what you would not tolerate. And that has allowed you to unlock your truest gifts, related to your current situation. So I'm going to place these cards up here just to kind of give us a little bit of space to read the rest of it. But, that said, sometimes, the thing that unlocks our true potential is that sometimes challenging or difficult situation that we have to face when it comes to our, life lessons. We talk a lot about Saturn in our readings, Capricornic energy, devil energy. I remember reading or listening to someone that was saying, the devil's not a negative card. I think it was Baba Jolie that said that. And she said that, the devil just shows us where we fall short. and where we miss the mark, or where we're tied or bound to something. So, that Saturnian energy is actually what breaks us open and allows us to shine with our own inner light, because we gain so much wisdom and understanding from that. I almost see this key entering in here and allowing those lilies to blossom. Um, it's very, very interesting the way that's done as well, because this is quite a very intricate key here with a lot of moving parts. So it's almost like, when you were in your life and you were going through your difficult times, you found that you had to rely on the synchronicities that took place in order for you to start to see how the puzzle pieces were fitting together. And in order for you to do that, it took you to, the chance to open up your intuition about what was going on, trusting spirit and having faith that things would work out in the end. So, and when those flowers did blossom, then it led to a lot more abundance for you. So that was what the period is taking place. Since we have the number three times here, 33 and 30, I would assume over the last 3 months, this has been a major challenge, possibly even 3 years, 3 seasons even. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to pull the cards for the tarot, just 4 cards spread. What else can we tell our audiences about their healing? Kintsugi Sessions. What else can we tell our audience about their healing in the Kintsugi Sessions? What else can we tell our audience about their healing in the Kintsugi Sessions? Still getting over my head cold. Excuse me. Still getting over my head cold. It's not the most fun. It happens during the season changes, but unfortunately summer has not come to the UK yet, and I'm just kind of waiting for that to go. I did have a motorbike ride late at night, and that kind of opened up an entirely new can of worms once I got back. So, hence, I am slowly getting on the mend. 2 more. Okay, 2 more. What else can we tell our audiences? One more. Alright, let's cut that deck. Before we get started, I am going to have a few sips of water. Yeah, it might make a few gurgly noises every now and then, but oh well. What is the current situation? What is the challenge? What is the challenge? What is the challenge? Okay, 2 cards for the challenge. Ooh, those are heavy hitters too there, my goodness. But it's a very positive sign. It's very positive. I'll explain in a few minutes. So we have the advice. Okay, advice. 3 cards came out, my goodness. And they're all pretty crazy cards here, but we're going to get through that. Finally, the outcome. The outcome of the current situation for June 2024 in your Kintsugi session message. Nice. Makes perfect sense. Very, very easy read for this one. Good cards here. And what we see at the bottom of the deck, 4 of Swords, 4 of Airships as it's called here. And this oftentimes insinuates that you are on a break. You are taking time to heal from your difficult situation in life after the 3 of Swords has taken place. And normally in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, you have, the 3 of Swords resting above the person's head in the church with the Ace of Swords underneath it, allowing them to reflect on and gain insights, clarity, wisdom, and also intuitive downloads about their pain and suffering. And this allows for them to transmute that energy before they go back at it into the 5 of Swords, winning at all costs. So that said, again, we do see that same theme about opening up, blossoming like a lotus. And oftentimes with lotuses, they don't need any kind of soil. They travel through the river and through the mud, and that's how they gain their sustenance. Give me 1 second. I'm going to quickly pause. Okay, cool. Everything's under control. So now we read for the first part of this reading. We have the Knight of Swords as the current energy that you have right now, and the Queen of Swords reversed. Right now, what I see you doing in this Kintsugi Sessions reading is that you are pretty cutthroat when it comes to the way that you're approaching your life. Anything and everything that you do not want in your life, anything that bothers you, anything that steals from your energy, drains you of your essence, you are swiftly cutting them out. And I think that you probably have had a bit of bitterness towards things. You may have spoken very harshly towards some of the people that have angered you or provoked your wrath. And you've also probably carried a little bit of that bitterness with you. You're currently carrying that bitterness with you a little bit, in the hopes that you can kind of put your foot down with some of the people that are, becoming energy vampires in a sense. Because the Knight of Swords is someone that moves in, they challenge, they rush in to swiftly deal with certain things. So you may say, like, you know what, mate, I don't like the way you're talking to me. You can go get F, whatever you want to say. I'm not really liking the way that you've been treating me. I'm tired of I'm tired of your shit. Get out of my life. And being very, very cutthroat when it comes to that. And sometimes that's really needed, because you want to start setting boundaries with people, but sometimes with the Knight of Swords, it can be a bit zealous when you do it. And with the Queen of Swords reversed, that's also insinuating that you're very, very, how can I say, brash with the way that you say things to people. You don't mince your words, but in the same way, you're almost cutting, like, without the lack of a better word. So what we have as the challenge, though, since this is in the challenge position, I have to read it as this is the thing that is the most difficult for you to get over when it comes to this type of reading. You have the Five of Cups reversed and the Ten of Swords reversed. It doesn't get worse than that in the tarot as far as emotions go. So whatever it was that you experienced was extremely difficult, painful, left you wanting, and you're at the end of it. However, the way I see and perceive this is that for you, it was so difficult to overcome whatever this was. What was the challenge? What caused this pain and suffering? Okay, you have the Spirit gauge, so that's temperance, healing. That's telling me just a little bit more about that. The Empress reverse. So you're kind of healing from a situation where you thought things would grow, and you thought things were going to come into balance. You thought that you were actually going to have a very positive union with someone. It's dealing also with feelings of people who challenge your self-worth, challenge your feelings of lack, or people who trigger those feelings, as well as do more to kind of pour petrol on the fire. And what you're doing now is you're doing Seven of Wands. You're pushing back against those people because you feel cornered. You want to have an equal exchange of give and take with people. And oftentimes, like when you deal with certain people, it could be boss, it could be a partner, spouse, it could be someone that you're dating, so on. You don't feel that there's any balance or reciprocity with that, similar to the way it would be with justice. But I see the Temperance as being felt on a passion level. And with the Spirit gauge, normally this is the card representing Sagittarius, which comes after, let me see, this is card number 14. So what is card number 13? It comes before the Devil. And so the things that in your life have made you feel like things were becoming very toxic, things are becoming very difficult. It may have triggered insecurities in you that you were not enough. And it could apply to any arena in your life. I typically try not to read exactly what's going on unless it's clearly indicated in the cards. But with this, I see that you're pushing back from all of those things that threw you off balance, and additionally made you feel inferior in any way, um, attacked or compromised your self-esteem. Um, for some people, and this may be for a very small subset of people in this reading, it may have been like the loss of a child or losing a child, in a separation or a divorce. It can also incur issues surrounding, you know, feeling like a failure. And these are very, very tough, difficult feelings to have to, contend with. But it typically triggers that dark night of the soul that people have to deal with when they face these, such energies. And now you're fighting for your position to kind of push back against all of that. So the challenge for you now is to overcome the feelings of sadness, guilt, repression, rage and everything, and to heal and get over the situation. So, in essence, what we have is a situation or a scenario where a person has been deeply hurt, triggered over a period of time because, these lilies, they indicate something that takes place over a period of time in order to get wisdom and understanding. So, you may have felt like the situation had persisted enough. If it was a lifelong lesson that you had to learn, it was more than likely a lifelong lesson that was quite painful until you were able to change and set course. So, that said, we have 3 cards here indicating your advice. So, for the advice, you have the Queen of Wands, the Devil, and 3 of Swords. It gives me similar energy to what we got up here with the 7 of Wands, the Empress reverse, and the Temperance. So you're the Queen of Wands, and you're attacking all of these things, both that make you feel restricted and limited, and also things that create heartbreak and heartache in your life. You're reflecting on these things, and you're finally setting yourself up to say, no more, no further. I'm going to fight back against all of these things, because the Queen of Wands is very confident. She's very compassionate. She's the opposite of the Empress reverse, which is a person that is controlling, smothering, and insecure because they feel like they're losing their control. It's similar to the Emperor, which is their counterpart in reverse, but on a feminine, receptive level. So it can be someone who feels like they don't have what it takes to achieve something, or they have like negative energies, and that's what's fueling the devil energy. It's asking you to identify with the devil, identify the energies in your life that are holding you back. And the 3 of Swords can be severing yourself from those things, which is a painful scenario and a painful situation, but it's an essential and necessary thing. So it's asking you to have courage and to be brave enough to face your demons in order to cut them out. And while it may be a very painful loss right here, what it's going to do is allow you to get the confidence to do so in order to do the inner work that's needed for you to overcome the shadow period in your life. And I think that you have what it takes to do that. This is the advice that's being given to you at this particular time. And I do believe that, with the Queen of Wands, what you see here is that she's actually reading a book, and in the book for the Steampunk Tarot, it normally indicates, studying up on things, learning how to do certain things before attacking that situation. So you may want to. Okay. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is, when we see this devil here, we see that it's actually underneath the mask of all this, it's hurting, it's in pain. You can see the tear coming from its eyes. And this shows us that despite the negative things that we have held fast to, people get hurt no matter how they appear to you. So say, for example, you were dealing with a negative spouse or a negative partner. They may be narcissistic, as many people would say. And in their attacks against you, they are suffering on the inside. And this is their only way of coping through negative coping mechanisms that they would do. It's what they call maladaptive coping strategies, or trauma bonding, in many ways. So that keeps them close to you because they're afraid that you're going to abandon or leave them because they've experienced abandonment in the past. And a boss may have the same kind of attitude. They want to be at the best of in the top of their game because they're afraid of losing. They're afraid of having a failing business. Or they may just be the type of person that treats people like objects because it's better for them rather than forming deep connections with others. And so you can see that this one is kind of treating this woman in the background like an object because she has this chain wrapped around her hands leading to the cyborg. And it can be painful to be in that energy oftentimes when people are afraid to let go of things that no longer serve them, when they're afraid of experiencing pain. It's okay to experience the pain, but it's also better to transmute that into something more useful, a lesson, energy, fire that you need to, achieve a goal, complete task, exercise, doing anything of that nature to transfer that pain and sadness into something productive, which will lead to better things. That is one of the ideal ways to cope or to deal with pain, in the sense that you take a proactive approach to actually resolving or to deal with it on a mind, body, and spirit level. So for me, what I like to do, say for example, I get screwed over in a relationship, or I have a difficult day or something like that, I'll jump on the bike, motorbike, go for a short ride, come back feeling refreshed. I may take a walk in the city or in the town and just have a good time listening to music and podcasts. And that's a way for me to transmute that energy, at least at the daily level. Longer term, I have to kind of face and confront those things and deal with them on the psychological level. So those are just a few ways that you can actually deal with those. And it's very, very helpful. So that's the advice that you're receiving for this reading. And so for the last part of this, you have the inventor, which is the hermit, and then you have the Six of Swords. No clearer message can be found in this, where it says, take some time, go inwards, and what you're going to do, you're going to go inwards and you're going to begin to start analyzing that the same way I was speaking about with the advice. Once you begin to analyze, what has taken place after the strength period, the hermit comes after the strength card, which is number 8, and then it precedes the Wheel of Fortune, which is number 10. So in essence, what it's doing is it's saying you're going to have a period where you're holding back, you're trying your best to keep everything together. You're going to have to go inwards and kind of transmute that energy with the light, because he is holding the same lantern here, which is it's like a one of those balls you would get at like the gift shops, where it had the the plasma ball energy inside of it. That's kind of the lantern in this one. But the lantern is the star, and it's the star of guidance, success, hope, and also illumination. That's seen in the star card, which comes after the tower. So the hermit also uses that same star as one of his archetypal, yeah, I think that's that way the first time, representations. He sits apart from the rest of the world, retreats for a bit, and then he's able to go through and dissect, shift through, and disseminate the information that he has learned from that painful experience, and then transmute that into the Wheel of Fortune. So that's why he comes before the Wheel of Fortune, because after you go through and you disseminate that, you dissect and you digest that information that's within your your circumstance, you can turn that pain into productivity, and then that's when the universe starts to co-create and work with you to start shifting things in your favor. So that's in my opinion, the explanation behind the procession of the cards. Then this will also move you forward with Six of Swords. This gives you the chance to make that difficult but essential transition from a painful situation into a more positive, stable ground. So it's moving from a difficult water, moving all the way into clear waters that are a bit more conducive for your life. You're literally leaving all of the old baggage behind. In the traditional Rider-Waite, the mother and the child with the mother, they have essentially given up everything, and they've given up everything so that way they can make the journey to to the other shore. And they're doing this with help and guidance from the ferryman. That ferryman can be in your life a counselor, a trusted friend, someone that helps to push you through the waters and actually allow you to complete the journey, because that indicates that this cannot be done simply on your own, but it requires a bit of support from your community and from the people who are professionally qualified to help you to make that transition. That's why it's a ferryman and not like someone's best friend, or someone's mother or father. It's like, I'm the ferryman. I've seen this happen all the time. Let me help you across. And so that's what I see as your outcome. You, for the month of June, anything that has been kind of, causing you grief, causing you residual strain and stress, whether that's a job, whether that's a relationship, anything that had been initially triggering your feelings of insecurity, of lack of, difficulties with self-worth, that will come into balance. You are going to stand your ground and fight for your, ability to defend yourself and who you are and the person that you are becoming and the person that you have become in the past. So it's important to note that with these types of scenarios, when you have gone through something painful, it's important to get help from people that, are licensed, and also the people that matter, because you can see here, this is also evidenced in number 33, which is, number 33 is a master number, to be honest with you. And this is something that you hear with a lot of Freemasons and so on, because it's a stage, it's one of the highest degrees, and it's a stage where you receive the key to the universe, and you're able to master, the ability to co-create with the universe. And you see in the background, you see all of these waves and things that are going on. Despite the chaos around you, you're going to receive that key and unlock the truest potential in your own spirit to allow your life to bloom and blossom in ways that you never thought would imagine. So it's the hermit with the key, and then after that you get that wheel of fortune where things begin to blossom and show. So I hope that this has been helpful. Thanks so much again. This has been Aluminum Tarot. I sincerely appreciate your time and energy in joining me for these types of sessions. Kintsugi sessions are meant to, find out where the cracks are in our lives and then fill them with gold and light. So that way we can put ourselves back together, mend ourselves with beauty and grace and wisdom. So that's basically the whole purpose behind these kind of sessions. If you like what you see here, please be sure to give a like, share, subscribe, and also ding that notification bell. And if you would like to see more like this, feel free to reach out with a request for a personal reading, because this will actually allow me to tune the energies into your own personal life and circumstances. Once again, thanks so much again, and see you next time. Have a great day. Love and light.